military operation to demilitarize Ukraine.
Meanwhile, this video from the Ukrainian Ministry of Emergency shows workers freeing a man from the rubble of a destroyed apartment block in the Donetsk region. Rescue workers helped the man out from beneath the wreckage before carrying him on a stretcher towards a van. While others are still feared trapped in the rubble, the emergency services say rescuers were in verbal contact with 3 people who are still underneath the rubble. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says there was no let-up in Russian airstrikes on his country. Speaking during his nightly video address, Mr. Zelensky said the death toll from the attack on the Donetsk town of Chasiv Yar was likely to rise. President Zelensky also refuted claims that Russian airstrikes had been paused.
I've been receiving reports all day today from the city of Chasiv Yar in the Donetsk region. A rescue operation after a Russian attack on residential buildings is on the way there. 2 residential high-rise buildings were destroyed. Dozens of people are under the rubble. 6 were saved. There are 15 names on the list of the dead, and unfortunately, this is not the final number. In the past week, many have mentioned about the alleged operational pause in the actions of the occupiers in Donbas and other parts of Ukraine. 34 airstrikes by Russian aviation in the past 24 hours, and 1 past day, is an answer to all those who invented this pause. The Ukrainian army is holding on, holding firm and dealing with attacks in various directions. But of course, a lot still needs to be done so that Russian losses become such that there will really be a pause.
Meanwhile, President Zelensky's chief of staff has called the attack on Chasiv Yar a terrorist act and has again called for Russia to be officially considered a state sponsor of terrorism. Andrew Yermak wrote on Twitter that the Russians hit a high-rise apartment building with civilians again, another terrorist attack by a terrorist country. That's a quote. The Russian Federation should be on the list of state sponsors of terrorism, according to him. And there are reports of more shelling as the city of Kharkiv came under missile fire by Russian forces 3 times today. That's according to the Ukrainian State Emergency Service. The service says there were no injuries reported yet, but an 86-year-old woman was rescued from underneath the rubble of a 6-story residential building. The service said 2 other missiles hit a yard near a warehouse as well as a school building in the Slobodisky district of the city. In other developments, Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba has thanked the United States for the latest infusion of humanitarian aid announced over the weekend. Mr. Kuleba said, quote, "Grateful to the U.S. for the unfaltering support for Ukraine. Additional humanitarian, financial, and military aid is crucial as Ukraine continues to defend itself from Russia's barbaric aggression," unquote. The equipment included 4 high-mobility artillery rocket systems, HIMARS, and additional ammunition, 155 mm artillery ammunition, and demolition munitions. The Defense Department said that the United States has committed $2.2 billion of security assistance to Ukraine in the last 3 weeks.